So firstly, I think there are merits in relation to the different rates of social welfare, particularly at a time of full employment. But as I brought in the budget today, it goes without saying I fully support the decision that was made of a €12 rate for everybody. It's what I've done in all the budgets that I've done, and I believe an approach in which all are treated equally and which also minimise the risk of people moving from one payment to another. All show that moving the rates in the way we did today, I think there's a very good argument behind us. What's going to be, honestly, what's going to be in the Fine Gael manifesto is a matter for another day. I'm not thinking about it at the moment. That's a matter for the Taoiseach and for others. My focus is on Budget 2025 now and getting that done. The way in which we've handled the welfare rate change today is consistent with what we've done now for all other working family payment changes in the last few years, and is the appropriate way for the government to handle it. And then, look, on one hand, they point to the difficulties in relation to the cost of living, and they condemn us for not spending more of the surplus. So they can't have it both ways. I mean, the government has tried to get the balance right, and myself and Minister Chambers have, between continuing to run really large surpluses, because we're convinced it's the right thing, given the dependence we have on a few taxpayers, and then also when the additional funding came in due to the Apple decision, we have decided as a government that that will go into long-term investments and not to be used for day-to-day spending. And if you look at the rate of growth in government expenditure for next year in recent years, other economic institutions have recently acknowledged that it's very appropriate given the growth within our economy. So the opposition on one hand say, we're trying to help, but not helping enough. They say the cost of living is an issue for everybody. They criticise support measures. They accuse us of spending, but they'd say they'd spend more.
I just echo what Minister Donohoe said. Everyone in the opposition that's criticising the budget would spend more. And the two core priorities which we set out in today's budget were around setting aside money for, as I've said, the windfall receipts for the two funds, and we're even running a surplus beyond those allocations. They'll reach €16 billion by the end of next year, with further surpluses in the economy. And secondly, the focus on infrastructure in the future. We have a lot of negative diatribe in the Dáil today, but actually, a lot of our focus when it came to prioritising capital spending for the future and infrastructure, it's about unlocking the future opportunities when it comes to the digital and green economy and our investment in energy infrastructure. Similarly, using windfall receipts to examine how we can best scale affordability in our housing system. And that's why we're being careful with the Apple windfall receipts and how that can be best used to unlock further economic opportunity for our country.